Fontaine, a small-time drug dealer in the suburban neighborhood of the Glen, finishes a routine transaction with his customer, Slick Charles. Fontaine hands over the goods, and Slick hands over cash. Fontaine. Business as usual, but later that night, Fontaine finds himself caught in a dangerous altercation with Isaac, a rival dealer. Fontaine is knocked unconscious and left for dead, or so it seems. The next day, Fontaine shows up at Slick's door, asking for his payment once again, alive and well, with no memory of the events from the night before. Slick Charles. You're here again? But last night, Fontaine is confused. Slick, along with Yo-Yo, a local sex worker, insists Fontaine was shot and killed. Yo-Yo, I saw you down, Fontaine. You were hurt bad. Fontaine is left baffled as he tries to make sense of the situation, recalling a black SUV driving off with a man who was bleeding. The trio investigates the house where they suspect something strange is happening. They find an underground elevator that leads them to a high-tech lab. Here, they meet a scientist who is researching ways to manipulate behavior on a mass scale. The scientist, though initially evasive, explains that the operation has reached widespread proportions. But before they can get more answers, things go awry. Slick accidentally stumbles amid a white powdery substance and, thinking it's harmless, snorts it. It causes him to laugh uncontrollably, but not without consequences. Slick Charles. Yo, what is this? It's like pure joy in a bag. As they attempt to leave, they stumble upon a strange discovery, a body eerily identical to Fontaine. The trio heads to a local fried chicken restaurant, where they notice something unsettling. The customers are laughing for no reason. Slick realizes the food has been laced with the same substance he ingested earlier. Slick Charles. Wait, they've been putting this stuff in the food. It's everywhere. Yo-Yo seduces the restaurant manager, learning that the entire neighborhood is under surveillance, and the substances that are being used in food, drinks, and even cosmetics to subtly control the population. Following their investigation, the trio discovers that the entire Glen is being manipulated through subtle means, behavioral experiments designed to create a docile, controlled community. Instead of focusing on oppression and victimization, they find strength in the community's resilience. They uncover a hidden lab beneath the church where members of the community, though under constant surveillance, have been working together to resist. The lab, while manipulative in nature, has also become a center for organizing collective action and empowering the residents to reclaim their agency. The trio devises a plan to expose the operations while empowering the people of the Glen. They break into the lab, but instead of mind control, they focus on raising awareness and sparking conversations about the injustices happening within their own community. Slick, Yo-Yo, and Fontaine work together to rally the people of the Glen. They encourage critical thinking and inspire others to resist manipulation through unity and collective action. As they work to uncover the truth, Fontaine discovers that the masterminds behind the operation are using divisive tactics to control the neighborhood. But instead of using violence or manipulation, Fontaine encourages a peaceful yet determined stand against the system. Fontaine and his friends lead a peaceful protest that exposes the operation to the public. The lab's true purpose is revealed, not as an experiment to erase identity, but as a desperate attempt to undermine community strength by creating division. Fontaine. They want us divided, but we're stronger together. We're not just numbers, we're people, and we have a voice. With the operation exposed, the community comes together, being empowered and united. Fontaine, Slick, and Yo-Yo decide to leave the Glen, heading to Memphis, where they can continue their work to fight against the systemic issues that harm communities like theirs. Yo-Yo. This is just the beginning. We've got more work to do. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, a man named Tyrone, living an eerily similar life to Fontaine, watches the news. He sees the aftermath of Fontaine's brave actions on television. With the clones and the operation exposed to the world, the news shows Fontaine's face, sparking a realization that the fight against oppression and manipulation is far from over.